Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're doing 5 sort of basic care needs for goats. I'm sure you can't see them on the camera, but they're there. So we'll go and meet the goats and then we'll get straight in with fact number 1. Here we are then with the goats. We've got Oscar and we've got Henry. Henry's lovely. Got a bit of an itch, this man. And then we have Oscar. He's also lovely. He's got a very good beard, to be honest. Oscar, you're going to show him your true colours? Yeah. Okay, they're pretty peaceful today. But today's fact video is going to be like 5 very basic facts, very beginner facts on getting goats basically. And you can watch this to see if you can provide that care they need. And yeah, it should be just nice and simple, very beginner sort of video. And just so you know, I've had these goats for almost a year now. So I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I definitely have a good idea of what the goats need. Is they're still here, still doing really well. And they are a year old, these two fellas. They're little pygmy goats. Henry is older than Oscar by like 6 days. They're not brothers, but they had pretty certain the same dad, as you can kind of tell by their colours. But on with care tip number 1. So for the first care tip, I'm going to be talking about what goats need to eat, and this is kind of focused more at like pygmy goats and also meat goats like boar goats, that sort of thing, because I know dairy goats need lots of minerals and extra bits and pieces to keep their milk nice and good, healthy and good for you, I guess. But yeah, I don't have dairy goats, so obviously I'm not going to be as good as giving you tips and stuff on that, so I'm not going to be talking about that in today's video. But a lot of the tips still apply if you wanted to keep on watching. But we're going to start off with what they eat. So you've seen they've obviously got their hay net there, and they have enough, well, they have hay every day available to them that's like good quality, and it is just very nice, and they're always very happy to see it, because you can see them like scrambling at the fence to get it, which is quite good fun when I come over. And in the mornings I do come and feed them a nice grain. I'll just go and grab one of their bowls. So I have these sort of bowls which are a bit dirty. They do need a clean, and they're really good because they're just like rubber and solid and that sort of thing. They can't be broken. But in the mornings, because mine are pygmy goats, I give them a little bit of a grainy sort of food with a mixture of like grasses like alfalfa and just general hay and that sort of thing mixed in. And it also has dried fruits and vegetables and that sort of thing to mimic their natural diet and give them a wide variety of foods, because some goat food, you can just get it's just like the grain and a bit of corn, which is probably good for them. But these two, it's quite good because I can feed them on it for a little bit longer than you normally would with weather goats, because these two are weather goats, and you're not really meant to feed them grain after about a year or when they've fully finished growing. But with that feed, I feel pretty confident I can. But I'm just going to reduce it down obviously in the summer, not feed it to them in the summer, but keep giving it to them in the winter so they have enough energy to keep their heat up, you know, in the winter, because it is flipping freezing at the moment. If you can't tell, my ears are about to fall off. It is so cold. But yes, that's what we feed them, and I think we'll move on to the shelter next. So for shelter, it's quite simple, because I have pygmy goats. I'm going to show you what I have for them. But to be honest, for goats in general, they just need something that gives them a roof over their head, that has some wind protection, that sort of thing. But for my pygmy goats, this is what I have. And yes, it does not look like much, but they're 2 little pygmy goats over there, so they don't need too much, to be honest. It's just a little like kids playhouse, which is good because it shelters them from the wind. They can get out the rain in there, and it's like quite nice and small, because goats do like a bit more like kind of cover and shelter, and to be a bit more kind of together and a bit smaller, which is nice. Oh, the bucket is frozen over again. That's how flipping cold it is. Jeez. Yeah, it literally freezes over twice a day right now. It's ridiculous. But this is what we've got, and also on the inside, something for their diet and nutrition. Don't worry, this is about to be cleaned out. I'm going to clean it out after this video, as you can kind of tell. There's a bit of poop in here. They've also got a salt lick, which is basically for goats. Sometimes they can't get all the minerals from what they eat, so you give them basically similar to a horse salt lick. You can probably use the same sort of thing. That's what I've done. But they just need somewhere in the lick, get salts and minerals and that sort of thing, basically to give them a better diet, make them healthy and happy, which is really good. The goats don't really eat too much of that, to be honest. I've had that literally since I got them, and they've only literally licked off the smallest bit of the bottom. So obviously they don't do it too much, but they're still happy and healthy. It's good to give them the option to have it basically if they do need it, so that's good. But we'll give you a bit of a close look. So this guy, I don't know why it's a dog. This guy is Oscar. He's very lovely. He's got an amazing beard, and he's also got a bit of a temper, you see. Sometimes he can be a bit enraged by that sort of close contact. You know, he follows me around. He's very friendly. He just doesn't like being reached out to and stroked and stuff. But Henry Henry's like a dog. He's incredible. You see, just stroke him, doing a good scratch. He's a bit fed up right now because it is food time, but you know, he doesn't really care too much. You can pick him up when you need, you can do everything, and they're all very happy, so that's really good. They are very wasteful with their hay though, which is really annoying. They just tip half of it on the floor and half of it goes in them. You know, they are monsters. They're monstrous. There we go. So next I wanted to talk about the field and the sort of space goats need. And this, to be honest, is a lot of space for 2 little pygmy goats, because you can read online, some say they need like quite a small space, some will say bigger, but what I can say is basically give them as much space as you can. And this is incredible for them, because obviously they've got their shed over there, they've got all the trees and the bushes they can like nibble on. It gives them a good bit of variation, because they're not really sort of like grazers. They don't really go around and eat all the grass. They will eat grass, but they much prefer to eat like bushes and branches off leaves, no, leaves off branches, sorry, bits of trees and that sort of thing. So they love having all that stuff across the back fence, which is really good. And it also means there's space for some like tyres for them to play on, a climbing frame for them to play on, and then there's that massive branch at the back which fell out of that massive tree behind you. But behind me, I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest, at this point. But so really give them as much space as you possibly can, to be honest, because they'll be greatly appreciated. They'll greatly appreciate it. As you can see, they don't really use much of it, but they do run around and charge around. It's great, especially if I were to get more goats. Oh, that could have gone horribly wrong. But this field probably has enough space for 2 more little pygmy goats, which I would really like to do in the future. I want to get 2 little female pygmy goats, but we will have to get a bigger shed, obviously, if I were to do that. But next I'm going to talk about the climbing frame and enrichment, that sort of thing for the goats, because it really depends on what you get. Pygmy goats and dwarf Nigerian goats, that sort of smaller sort of goats, really do benefit from this, because they're great personalities, always charging around, you know, being crazy. But yeah, it really depends on what you get at the end of the day. Boar goats, Kiko goats, those sort of goats that are meat or dairy, kind of just have big open fields that you just go through. And they also do enjoy having all the bushes available just the same, but they don't seem to play as much as these two, as pygmy goats do. I guess next we're on to talking about like goat enrichment and things they like to do. So leading on from what I just said about goats liking sort of things to play on, so these two obviously are pygmy goats, and they can be seen charging up across there, and over to there. I mean, it does keep focusing on my arm, this camera, but you can kind of understand what it's like. Basically, they've got that space there for their hay, and if you see, they can actually fit inside, and they can stand under here all they want, and they do go under there a bit, but not too much. And what I want to do in the future is I'm going to cut this bit here, because it's quite loose, as you can see. It's all very solid, as you can tell. It's all drilled in place, and I don't want it to be loose so obviously they don't fall off, but this bit here is quite loose. So what I want to do is cut like this bottom bit out, probably here, and just cut that, and then they can go inside there, and we might add some stuff to make it a bit more windproof, but we'll see. But the goats really do benefit from climbing and things to get up high, and that's something boar goats do like, and those sort of goats, they do like to be able to just look around, basically. And you can see the goats a lot of the time, they'll come up and climb on the tops of the tallest bits, and they just kind of stand and look around and watch what's going on, because then they can stay safe. It's a bit like climbing, like I said in the 5 goat fact video. It's called, like, I don't know, well, if you go check out my channel, it's the video before this, and there's some very, very interesting stuff on there that you may not know about these sort of goats. And there's stuff definitely on there that I didn't know before I kind of researched some more interesting facts that you may not have heard of. But we've also got the tires, a similar sort of thing. They just climb on those, run around. It's good to move everything around to keep them stimulated. But this here, this is the real deal. This massive log that fell out of the tree. You can't really tell where it came from. I still can't decide, to be honest, personally. But if you have a look here, they kind of just go around, chew off all the bark and that sort of thing, and they've broken off all the twigs that are on here. They've eaten all the leaves, all the buds. So it's basically just a massive log with a bunch of teeth marks in it. So that's certainly interesting. The last thing I wanted to talk about, hopefully Henry doesn't knock it over. The last thing I wanted to talk about was kind of goat herd sizes of what they like. Oh dear, Henry, don't knock it over. Now he's licking it. He's strange. But I wanted to talk about the sort of size of the herd you need. No, hello Oscar. No, that's my coat. Ah, this is meant to be easy, man. Look, hay. You want to eat the hay, not my jumper, my coat. Come on. Well, like I was saying, goat herd size can kind of vary. You definitely want no less than 2, and they're quite happy together in a pair. Don't headbutt me. And they just basically need someone they can keep company with, stay safe with, and also just kind of play with also, because these two run around all the time, which is really good because they've got company then, and they're happy. But obviously, the more the merrier to an extent. It kind of depends also what you want goats for, because these two are just little fun pets. They're here to have fun with, basically. So I don't really want that many. But if you have, like, obviously boar goats for meat and milk and other goats like that, you do want more, because obviously you get more. Hey, you're gonna show them that your true colours, eh? Hey, your true colours, man. Your true colours, man. Yeah. Come on then. Come on then. No, don't try and headbutt me away from the camera. Come on. Hold on. This is where it gets extreme. Extreme sports with Oscar. I'll see you there. Hey, that's my coat. This little man is a bit crazy. Hey, he's been very calm today. He's been very calm today. But we're gonna leave him to it. I'm gonna leave him to be a good goat by himself. Henry, however, Henry's always a good goat. But one thing I did forget to mention is, at the end of the day, goats are just so cool and they're very easy to care for. That's one thing I forgot to say at the start. I don't clean out their shed too often. It's normally about once a week, but in the summer it can be even less, because in the summer they just sleep outside because they're crazy. They are crazy animals. But yeah, they're very easy. I just come up here, feed them, play with them, make these videos, and then leave them to it, to be honest, because they're very independent and very, very smart, and they keep themselves safe. They're very good, that sort of thing. But this video has not been as good quality as the fact video we made. It's kind of been a little bit harder today. I don't know why. The goats have been a bit less interesting, to be honest. The goat fact video, oh my goodness, they're just running around headbutting me crazy. They're very excited. But I tried to film this video yesterday, and that was carnage, literally carnage. I've got videos of the YouTube short, actually kind of explains it all. They're just running around dancing, headbutting me, each other, wrestling. It was good laugh, to be honest. They were very happy. But we're going to leave them to eat their hay. And thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do subscribe for more goat stuff, because we are a goat channel at this point now. I think the fish stuff, the goat stuff doesn't really blend too well. So I'm going to focus on the goats because I think generally they're just more interesting. I do like the fish, but the goats are just so cool, as you can obviously tell from watching this video. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.